Okay to stay here, or we need to go?
No, it's okay. I think it's okay, right?
I'm fine, yeah.
Hey, Mr. Gerald, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we love to do these reviews, and you're a unique person because you're one of the first people that we're interviewing who has worked and studied in the same country.
Right.
So could we start with a quick introduction of you?
Sure. So I'm from Zimbabwe. I've been in Malaysia for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
For the past 10 years, rather, sorry.
Oh, you're going to be here for 20 years, right?
Hopefully. If time and everything else permits, I'll be here for next 10 years.
That means you're happy with the place, right?
I can say I'm comfortable.
Okay, that's
Right,
nice.
yeah.
Okay.
So currently I'm working with Lenovo. It's one of actually the world's top selling PC brands at the moment. At the side I have a male-oriented social blog, Gerald. So I just try and run both things concurrently.
Okay. We have to share that link there. Definitely,
yes.
All right. Now on to the next question. Could we kind of get an overview of your study life in Malaysia? How, first of all, because you're from Zimbabwe,
That's right.
and we have to be very aware that the challenges of Zimbabwe are different now than when you came. So let's actually get into that because that's a topic that I really like to talk about. How was the situation when you came to Malaysia when you were coming from Zim?
To be quite honest, it was fairly challenging as well at the time because we're currently sort of going back into time from the time when I came here to the current moments. New students are coming and what they are facing as well.
Do you think the challenges are the same now and then?
More or less the same.
Okay, so then
there was a period in time whereby it was actually getting better. It was more stabilized. That's like 2, 3, 4 years ago. But during the time when I first arrived, a lot of people did have problems. Like the ones you face right now, which are possibly school fees issues, getting the money sent from home to here to pay for their tuition. During my time, you would have to wait for quite some time before you get your allowance.
Yes.
Yeah, so it wouldn't come at a timely manner that you'd be hoping it to come, which is maybe perhaps on a monthly basis. So banks will have issues in getting you the money.
Since you've been around for 10 years, this information would be quite important for Zimbabwe students. Have you found an effective way to advise Zimbabwe students to be receiving their funds easier? Because it's really a challenge that we've seen a lot with the students.
Sadly and honestly, the only and best way for it to be done is to get someone, if you have a family member or relative who's outside the country, to send you that money.
Okay, I get it.
If it's going to be coming from Zimbabwe itself, it's going to be a bit tough. You will need to go through various processes of applying to the National Bank, the National Reserve Bank, to get you the funds or the grants, get the money sent overseas.
Okay.
Because basically when the countries have foreign currency shortages, it will be key for the government to try and retain as much foreign currency as it has, which discourages parents sending money outside.
Got it. Okay, so that's a good challenge to understand because as Study Africa, we look at the overview, and it takes people like you to be the ambassadors of the micro view. So I'm very happy to have discussed that. All right, so let's get on to the education. Where did you study, and which universities did you study, and what course?
Okay, I was at Legenda College. It was under Linton.
Okay, Linton University.
Yeah.
Okay.
I studied for business studies. So I did a 3-year course.
3-year course in business
studies.
It's bachelor's in
business.
Bachelor's in business. How was your experience with the university?
It was quite okay.
You can talk about racism. That's what we love to talk about.
Well, I've heard talks of racism. To be honest, I've heard talks from colleagues from fellow Africans from different countries that will have experienced some form of racism or another. Fortunately, I never got to experience that firsthand, fortunately. But
it also might be one of the reasons why you've been able to stay on, because you were able to integrate.
Possibly. So I guess integration is key.
Yes.
But being able to integrate does not also completely remove the aspect of racism. It still exists. True. And it might discourage certain Africans or even Zimbabweans from integrating. True. Because they might have the stigma that, maybe perhaps I will get discriminated upon, or maybe racism is still a big factor.
And well, with us with Study Africa, we know something very unique. The Zimbabwe community really values education, and it is a Southern African thing, but more so the Zimbabwe community has taken it into their hands to do it. Because if I go around the Study Africa community, we have quite a number of professors in Malaysian universities who are from Zimbabwe, which is very impressive. And I hear this is the same case across the whole world. Yeah. So now on to the last question. We've spoken about your career. Something that we do not actively look into, but in the next few years we will be looking into as a community project, is we want to foster the culture of startups. We want to foster the culture of entrepreneurship, because you are the person who has that potential to fund students in the future to get to being as good as you are, and so on and so forth. And as you've said just now, Zimbabwe, it makes more sense if the person is working outside to send money to the students. So you are in that position. Once your revenue stream is doing well here, you're somebody the country can rely on as it is. Hopefully situations will change in the future, but we always like to push people into getting that done. So could we talk about your blog and what you hope for it? And you can be very blunt and it's okay if you're confused about it, but people need to understand the honest movement and what's driving you for that, and be encouraged, because we're looking at you as the inspiration. Right. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for the opportunity to bring this one out, because I believe that there are many blogs. Okay, I'll talk about the name first. So the name is the Gerald. So this just is the name to just help you identify the blog with the person, because that is my name. So what the blog is meant for, I've noticed that there are many blogs that are directed to women or helping women. It could be health, it could be beauty, it could be styles, it's everything. But you hardly find those for men.
Yes. Oh.
So I've taken upon myself to design one that is designed for the average man. So it covers issues of health, fitness, financial knowledge, and the social aspect, the social scene. How to behave when you're out there, how to conduct yourself, what makes you more of a gentleman than just the regular Joe. The key is, it might seem largely that it's going to be male oriented, but if you look at it in real life, the better the plate of men out there, the happier the women. So in a way, it also benefits the women too.
Yeah, exactly.
So when I get to the point where I make this thing a big thing, everyone benefits from it. Everyone wins. You learn something, ladies get to learn something too.
Okay, this is interesting. So that would mean it would latch onto fashion. Yes. It has a couple of potential clients. And what's the traction with it at the moment?
So far it's still very early, it's still starting. So I have covered a few countries, but you have one or two people joining in maybe every week or every month. So I'm still trying to get as much publicity on it as much as I can, because I have a few articles written, so there's a bit of content there for anyone to go and read, but I just need to put more on the publicity part, so people are made aware.
Okay. We will be starting a page on the Study Network website that just showcases different African startups. So the projects that we have started are things like we've not started, let me not say that, because what happens is it's this point of inception where the project either comes to us at an idea stage or it comes to us with some traction, but it needs a drive.
Right.
And the beauty of the Study Africa, Study Asia, Study Arabia, Study Persia, because these are the different things that have been started through this project, is we are just a people-oriented project. Without the people, we are nothing.
Exactly.
But with the people, we are really strong, and we have this habit of really just pushing the people to do something. At this point of life, we come from developing countries. The challenge with developing countries is there's no fostered entrepreneurship skills. So like if I even speak to my parents today, my mom, and she tells me, listen, just get a job, work in an office and everything. And the reality of this situation is if you build something, it gets to a whole other level, and it has its potential. It may fail. Jack Ma failed I don't know how many times, but look at him today. What's his name? The guy for Virgin Atlantic. He started 100 businesses. Richard Branson has started 100 businesses. He's schizophrenic, which puts the odds for him at a 50-50. He's going to fail even worse because he's that. But the fact that when he only does what he likes is the reason why Virgin Records became Virgin Atlantic, and now he's doing the whole other Virgin Galactic and everything. He just does what he really likes and does it really well. So we need to foster that kind of culture of risk taking, and then hopefully as this project grows up, we will have a network of venture capitalists who are just looking at the developing nations and the potential behind the developing nations, coaching people like you to get into it. I'm hoping Udesh is watching this because I'll introduce you to him. He's in the VC field. He can open up, you already have a blog going, he can open up to you potential clients who are payable. So he'll scale it for you, understand, they'll work with you to scale it and understand, okay, you're doing towards this, that means that yes, you get that content done, but your sponsors are this. And then one thing leads to another. So I'm very happy that you've been able to talk about it.
Thank you.
I hope you can take more risks and encourage more of your community to take a lot more risks, because you guys are quite smart.
I'm actually for that idea, and I support what you're saying just now about risk taking, because most African communities have this idea that if you have to make it in life, you have to go to school, have a degree, get a job, be an employee, and that's it.
Sure.
But they don't encourage you that, okay, good, have your education, have your degree, but try and have that as your fallback.
Yes.
On the other hand, follow your dreams, do what you want to do.
True.
And if that doesn't work, try something else. But if really nothing else works, you still got your education to fall back on, but don't make it the primary thing that you're gonna sustain your life on.
And one thing that I would say, Ms. Mehad is here, and she is somebody who I actually did not know about this about you, that you had a breakdown moment and it was quite tough. The fact that that has happened has made her more focused and to understand that this is not something I want to do, this is what drives me. So it's that point of failure, and it can be a business failure, it could be an emotional failure and whatnot, that has driven her to be doing, like you're going to be doing the video now, which is about mental health. She understands the importance of mental health because she's gone through XYZ. So it's those experiences that, let's say you've done what you've done now with the blog, and then suddenly somebody buys your blog out, or it gets taken out because of these legal issues and everything. The only thing that you have to go home with is the fact that you've learned the mistake, and you will never make that mistake again. And yes, and you will go on to keep doing it again and again, because I'm pretty sure that thing wakes you up at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes.
Oh, it does.
To get it done.
It does. Sometimes at 2. Okay, why am I awake? But I just have to do it. I just gotta get it done. It's true.
It's so different. All right. Cheers. Thank you for having us.